browser HDX, and I'm going to press enter. And it's called Humanitarian Data Exchange. Here,
HDX.
yeah, HDS, or you can type data.humdata.org. That is Humanitarian Data Exchange. Now, a humanitarian data exchange is a German-based website which is connected to different database, OpenStreetMap, humanitarian data, and rest of them. So this is where humanitarian data are being exchanged, it's being shared. So currently, we have about 19,000 datasets of 254 locations from 2,050 sources. So now, when you come here and click data, I have an account with them, but you don't need to have an account with them to access data. I have an account with them because I interface data, like upload data sometimes. So that's why I have an account, but you don't need to have an account to access the data. So for example, if you want to look for poverty rates, let me use this as example. Poverty rates in Africa. You can search, and this is going to the database to bring you different poverty rates data that you need to look for. Then if you type about price, for example, I'm going to type price rates in Africa, and then I will search. You should be able to give me the price of food data weekly, depending on where it is. So you can look for it in Nigeria. This is data for Nigeria that shows you the details of data. So it is in CSV file. Some of them can come as CSV, some can come as shapefile. So, but for today, we are going to type health facility. Health facilities in Nigeria, and that is what we are going to use. All right, so this is World Health Organization cholera data. This is HDX HP data. This is there are different other health facility. This is there are different all of them. So I can also type hospital.
So what type of data will it be?
Yeah, it can be, like I said, it can be a shape file, it can be a CSV file. It comes from different ways. So now all you just need to do is get it. Like this is just what I downloaded, which is Nigeria Health Facility here. So this is exactly that I downloaded. So it is Nigeria Health Facilities. So in that, this is a Nigeria Health Facilities that I downloaded here. Now, this data health facility, these are primary, secondary, and tertiary entities that provide the medical health and engage general, natural, and artificial materials to create a disposal drug. Now, this is about how many people downloaded. You can see the last time it was modified, and you can also see the feature, whatever you need to see. Then when you click on it, like this, you can see different other data as in different other details as related to it. Now look at Nigeria. Now this is a web map because it is interactive. So if you hover over to it, you can see here, this is the health facility, as you can see. Now I am saying that since this is a health facility, you see the way I'm moving this thing on it. Look by the left hand side here. You see that it is showing me the health facility, the location, the local government it is, and now this is much. Now, if I ask you to create a Nigerian map with health facilities, this does not make any meaning. But because it's a dynamic map, I can zoom to it. You can see, and then I can click on it like this. You see, oh, this health center is in Sango, and this is the local ID, and is in Kaduna. Then I can zoom out a bit the same way. Go to this other end here. I can zoom out like this, and then go to here. Let me go to the one close to Lagos. You see different health center, and I will click on it. And you see now the ID, the name of the hospital, the when the time the data was collected, it is in the Lorin West, this is the local government code, this is the state code, Kwara, and rest of them. Now, this is how people downloaded the data. As you can see, you can download it in GeoJSON, in shapefile, and in CSV. So I downloaded the shapefile and CSV. So all you just need as it is here, just click here, download, and that will start downloading. I don't want to download again because as you can see here, I've downloaded 1 and 2. You see it here. So there is no need because I wanted us to work on it last night. That was when I was testing you. So I've downloaded the 2. I don't need to download it again. So you can download the same thing here, which I will also attach the link. Now you see here, why am I calling it dynamic? When you click here, you see that this is a base map. You can change it whenever you want to change it. You can click on it again and it comes back. So you see it have a background imagery. So it means since the base map, you can interact with it. You can see the whole map of the world. So for our own case, sorry, now before I talk about our own case, you can see different, this is the metadata, the contributor HDX, the period of this data collection. You can expand to see it's when the data was collected, when was it last modified, then where is it located. This can be gotten for other part of the world, but we are focusing on Nigeria. And since we are focusing on Nigeria, I want us to narrow it down to maybe your states. So you get what I'm saying? So we're going to get it there. Yeah, to make it so you can use the other data for wherever you need it. So I'm going to select both data and then I'm going to cut to the data and we'll go to the location where you are and let's start working from there. So let me save it in your folder. So I'm returning back here. So let me create a new folder for it and I'm going to put it held as in Nigeria. So let's put it up there. Then I paste the data here. Now I have the data in 2 files. I downloaded the first one in CSV and I downloaded the second one in shapefile. Yeah, so I can extract them here and then this comes in here, so you finally get this extracted. Now this is it here. Now I am going to, I've launched ArcMap, and in ArcMap I am going to import this data into ArcMap. So I will just need to copy the directory here, go to ArcMap and then add up the data there, and then here, and I click add, and this is the health facility, and I click add, and that shows me the health facilities in Nigeria. So this is the dynamic. So even if as it is now, if you want to create a hill, like a heat map of Nigerian hospital to show us which of this part of the Nigeria have more hospital, you can see. If you zoom close, you can see Lagos, how congested it is. You can see here, that's how congested it is in Lagos. So on this note, let us quickly bring in Nigerian shapefile. So I'm going in there to add Nigerian shapefile, then go back a bit. So I'm going to Nigeria administration, I'm going to add Nigerian states and click add, and that will give us Nigerian shapefile. So now this is name 1. So let me select by attributes. I'm selecting the shapefiles of Nigeria. Then I think in name, let me look, get unique value. It is only Nigeria, so let us use name 1. So I'm going to name 1 here and then equal to, what's the name of your state?
Ogun State.
So I'm going to Ogun State. So I go down to O and we are going to click on Ogun State. So if we verify this statement is true, so I click OK and I click apply and Ogun State is being selected and we are here. Now I can do select from the selected location, but for the sake of this, let me just go to here and say create layer from the selected features and Ogunle state is being created. I can clear the
Mm-hmm.
selection, turn off
Mm-hmm.
Nigerian shapefile, and you see here, this is the map within Ogun State. So what next do I
Okay.
need to do? I can go to selection and go and say select by location, and I'm going to select the HES facility that is within Ogun State here, and I click OK or apply. Any of them is going to work. So that selected this within Ogun State, as you can see here. So this is the health facility that is within Ogun State. So what next? Let's right click on this. First and foremost, let me copy this location because I want to save it there. So let me copy the location and let me save this here, and then paste the directory, and let me type it Ogun State Health Facility. Then I will save this. Now let me now export the health facility within Ogun State. So I'm going to click home and I am here, and I'm going to save it Ogun Health Facility, and I click save, and then this it takes it up here, and I have about 1,600 health facility within Ogun State. So now you turn off this and this is remaining. Now there are two things that are involved now. I want to go and use this to create a web map, which is exactly what I want to do right now. So I want to use this to create the web map. So I think of the commonest place we are going to host it, and I am going to add here, and I'm going to use what we called UMap as a common place we are going to use. So a UMap is an OpenStreetMap dynamic web where you create a map. So here, I'm going to log in. I have an account with them, and I'm going to log in using my OpenStreetMap account detail, and this will log in, and here we are. And this is my profile as part of the map, some of the map I've created. So why am I calling it dynamic map? I'm calling it dynamic map because when I open this, I should be able to interact with it. Example, this is the map of Bauchi State, right, which have a dynamic map that shows all the map in Bauchi State. Yeah, so if I zoom up a bit to each of them, I can interact with it, and I can say this is the name which I can talk, and as you see, I can also change the background. I can query, I can search the hospital.
Can you delete some?
Because I am the one who can delete it. If I give that restriction, anybody can delete. I am the only person who can delete it because it is my map.
Okay.
Yeah. So now this is the local government boundary. As you can see, I can turn it off, I can turn them off, and then I can turn it on. I can interact with each of them, and whatever I want it to have, it is going to have it. Now, this
Yes.
is because I am the one who created it. That's why I'm seeing it like this. Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to create a new map here. And when I click on create new map, and you can see here, this is the whole Africa, and we want to create a map of Ogun State here. Now, what can I do? Because of the type of data, I can just upload the data. I can clean them. I can do whatever I want, and I want to upload that data. Now, I can click on here, import data. This is the interface. You create it the way you want it. So if I upload data, it's going to come in different format. I can import from other sites, which I am going to show you next time, the self-updated data, and I will show you how the data is going to be imported. So you can see different file format. You can see whether you want to have a layer. Now, because the OpenStreetMap, I don't want the data to be big, and I don't want to bring in shapefile, and probably I don't also want to bring KML file. So sometimes what I do is that I go in here and probably look for QGIS. So what I'm looking for QGIS is that I want to data because shapefile is have a lot of data inside it. Because if you go down to here, you will see that the shapefile we created only for Ogun State and the health facility is now populating about 14 details. As you can see, have the projection file, the SPSDS, and the rest of them. So I wouldn't want to like get it done that way because that's going to it's not going to accept that because part of the data format of this does not allow that. So I am definitely going to change the format to another format. Hold on a bit, like 30 seconds. All right, so now I'm going to use QGIS. So I'm using the QGIS, like I said, is that I wanted a way to convert the data to GeoJSON because that is a bit lighter. And that does not mean you can use the KML file by converting the KML file and use it. There's no problem. But for me, for my own choice, I want to use the GeoJSON, and that's why I'm coming here. So I'm going to use to go to the directory where I save this and open, and you see here change this into shapefile. So if you put it up here, you see that I have these two datas here, both of them. So I'm going
Yeah,
to
a bit
add,
fast.
okay, what did you say?
I said you're a bit faster.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm saying, but you know how I arrived here? Where do I need to go back a
No,
bit?
I'm just new to QGIS.
Okay, you are new to QGIS. Oh, sorry. Okay, now let me start afresh. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to return this, or let me remove both data. I'm saying that I want to convert this file. I can still make it in KML file, but I prefer using this format here.
GeoJSON.
Yes, it is lighter. I can still use the CSV we downloaded. I can still use it in JPEGs. I can use KML file. There is no problem. But it's just because of my choice that I want to now come to QGIS. When I come to QGIS, now this data here, if I press Ctrl L, it will bring me this, which is the data source. Is that okay? Now, or I go to layer here and I say add layer here. And then I will go to here, I have vector file. That's the second method. The third method is to press Ctrl Shift V to bring me direct to vector. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then the next other way is I can go from here, and since this is my C and this is my home, I can browse the directory wherever the file is located, like the way we used to go. You go to your document, you look for the document, you can see it here. I can go in here, open the geomatics, then go here, bring down to where I have your location, which is here, and then when I get here I can open up your file here and I'll go to data. So this is just like navigating to that particular part. This is the health facility, and you can see here I have Nigeria here. You see it here. I have the health facility there. I can drag it and put. If I expand this, you will definitely see this. So this is a way, many ways, or you click here, this plus sign, it come by default. Open data
Which,
source. Is that okay?
okay, this plus
Yeah, this plus sign here. Now,
where?
when you get here, know that you are looking for vector, because if you are looking for raster, you come here. If you are looking for CSV, you come as delimited file, you come here. But what I am looking for is a vector because I have converted into shapefile this, and I have already saved this somewhere. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, sir.
All right, so now it is in file. Look file here. This is in automatic. And I'm going to click on these three dots to look for the location. Now this is the location of Ogun Health Facility. This is the only one I need. Then when I just click on it, it will come like this. I don't have any reason to change this. I leave it by default and I click add. Then another thing is that I need to also overlay Ogun, like the state's location, like the state's boundary on it. So I click on it, and from ArcGIS now, that's where I am. I'll click export. Then I'm going to save there as only here, and I'll put it states because I just want to export the state map. Then I will save it, and then I will export it. I don't need it here, so I will say no. I just only need to export it. Now, if you look here, see I've added it here. So because of that, I'm going to also add the Ogun State shapefile, which is here, to it because I want to convert both of them, and I will add, and that is added here. So if you look here right now, go to the layers here. You see both of them. If I drag this thing down it, you can see the health facility here. Why
Okay.
do I came here? I only came here for a reason, one reason, which I can also
Convert.
do, yeah, to convert. I can do that same thing in ArcGIS here by going to ArcToolbox, conversion, and convert it to KML file. But I don't want to put it in KML file for no reason. Do you get what I'm saying? For no
Okay,
reason.
sir.
Yeah, so there is, it's just I don't just want to put it in KML file. I need it in GeoJSON because I like interfacing the data on that. Now here, I will right click on this layer of Ogun, and I will go to export here. Right click on the layer here, go to export,
Okay.
save file as. Now, when it comes up here, format, I don't need in KML file, so I am going to select GeoJSON. This one here, the first one, they have been selected. Now I will click on here, we have three dots, and I will go to that location where I save this, so which is still here, and then I will click save. Now this brings me here. The reason why you're not seeing anything here is because there is no file that is GeoJSON in here. From
Mm.
what I do, I am trying to export the file, which the name is here. Look here, I'm trying to export this vector file format, this one. The first one, go to export, go to save feature as. I click on this three dots, then it takes me to the location where I want to put it, which is here. Then I will click save because I want it to navigate to here. Then I will write it Ogun underscore HF here. Then this is in KML file. I can't change it here right now because I'm already where I want to save it as. I will click on save. Now when I return back here, I will change the format to JSON here. That is okay. I will leave the coordinate system in WGS. I don't want to add it to the layer when I'm done because I don't need it for anything. Now I will click OK, and that has been exported. You can see it here successful with this. I will do the same thing for Ogun State. Export, save as. Go to the trade automatically. You see now it is now using the last thing I use. If I go here, you can see it in JSON like this. Then with this, I can make it Ogun State, and then do export. And I don't want to add it to the map. I don't need it. If I leave this thing, it means when I click OK, it's going to add it a new layer to the map, but I don't need that. So we'll talk about this QGIS as we go on, but we have a lot of things to explore here as there are many things to do here. As you can see here, if I want to see Google satellite, I can add it up here, and you see I'll be able to interact with a satellite imagery very well and fast. So we will talk about it extensively. Yeah. So if you look here, you see where the hospital location are located based on the
Yeah.
location of the place. So these are different hospital location. You can see here, this is health under first facility, another health facility, another health facility, another health facility. You see, they are different, many of them. Now, on these notes, I am done with QGIS. I just came here to make data conversion. Then I will return back here. Now, to import the file where we are, I'm going to choose here to choose the location. I'm going to paste the location where we have this GeoJSON exported. Now, the first one you see here is Ogun State. I will click on it and I will open. Now, when I open it up, see the way it is written here. If I have the URL link, I will paste it here. Once I am done, it is in GeoJSON. Import as a new layer. Layer name, I can type it, the layer name to be Ogun State. Then I will click on import the data. And the data has been imported here. I will return back to the same place again and import to the second file here, which is Ogun Health Center. Then I will now click here to open it, and then it has
Sorry, where are
imported.
you seeing the import data from?
Yeah, here. Import data is this arrow here. Look at the arrow here. By default, yeah, import data. Or you press Ctrl I when you are on this interface.
Okay.
Yeah, so now here, this is where I want you to look at. If you see here, import as a new layer. There is when you are not on this interface, you see that it is importing as a new layer. Now, change the name here. So I can say Ogun State Health Facilities. You see now that I have this here, and I'll click on import again, and that is going to add the Ogun State Health Facility on it. Now I will close this because I don't need another import again. Now you see this thing we have here. What else do I need to do again? And another thing I need to do is I need to now go here and type the name of the map. What is the name of the map? We are going to make it Ogun State Health Facility. All right, so now this is the description. What I mean by description, this, you can say something like this. This dynamic map or this web map is created to show the uh, Ogun State health facilities. You can say a lot of things. Anything you want here, you can write it. The whole platform is for you. Then you can say data source. You can say HDX. So whatever you want, you put it up here. If you have a credit you are putting, this one is just for you. Long credit, this you can put it up here. Who are you crediting to? Let's say here you can put credit. You can say above me Awolowo University. You can say AOU. That is AOU here. And some you are creating it to. So once you put it up here, look here. You see this thing here coming here
Yeah,
automatically.
I can't see it.
Here, do you see where I am down here? I can put my name here. See, I am putting up my name here. Do you see where my name is showing?
Mm-hmm.
You see my name
Okay.
here. Here.
Yes.
So whatever who you want to credit, you credit it there. That is a short credit, which is going to, this is the way it is. If you want to add imagery, this is the way format. We're going to go into that. But I just want you to see all this here. You have put up the name here. And once you are done, if you click on save, it comes in here, it is saving and it has been saved. Now, on a quick one, I'm going to go here and I'm going to share the data. How do I share the data? I can put it on the website, or I bet you it on the map or whatever, but I want just to copy this link. Now, I am going to copy this link and I'm going to another browser to show you how we are going to be working on it. So, I'm going to click on this and I'm going to paste this link. This is now the web link to this map I've created. Now, when I click on it, you see this, it is going to come like this. This is the size I put it up. So I can open it up here. Assuming I want to see which hospital is this, I can click on this. You see the name coming like
But it
this.
just bring the name. It didn't bring the location, like
Yeah,
the
I'm
coordinates.
yeah, I'm coming to that. You can put whatever you want, but this is just like the rough estimate of what we just achieved now. On this, you can also change the background by clicking here. Sorry, If you see here, you see that we have 1,600 hospital and one layer is Ogun State. Now, if you open up here, you can change this thing, the base map, from what it is to another thing. So let me close this, and you can change the base map to this, to make it darker, to make it whatever you want. Then you can add a hill shade to it, and when you click on adding a hill shade to it, so you can see the hill shade of the map as it is located here.
What
So
of
this is
symbol?
for you.
What symbol of even the symbol?
Yeah, we are going to that. So this is for you. Why do I say this is for you? I am now the viewer. I am not like the creator. You get that? So this thing I created here, once I refresh this, because I am the one who is viewing it, it will return back to what you as the creator save it
Oh,
to. So I am the viewer, I am interacting with it, trying to see what you do here. What's the name of the hospital? What do you do this? How do you do it? This is for you. Now I want you to note this hospital here. I'm going to choose a random hospital, one hospital, like randomly, pick a random hospital that I want. So I'm going to pick this hospital that is near this reserve forest, which we name as Ala
Alapapo.
Papo Hospital. We are going to be using this to make another modification, but this is for the viewer. I am returning back to the creator part, which is me. So I will close up this, I will close up this. I can change this map that anybody who is viewing it should not zoom beyond here. I don't get what I'm trying to say. If anybody that is viewing it cannot zoom beyond here. So if I put it and set it up like this, so if you are the one viewing it, if this is the where I set it up, you cannot view beyond it. So let's go to different settings now and do them one after the other. Now, when you come here, look at this arrow here. This is the layer, and it comes like this. Now I want to modify Ogun State Health Facility. I will click on it. Now this you can drag across, you can drag on top, the same way you arrange layers. Now this is the table here. When you click on this, the attribute table of this particular map is going to come out. Now you
Okay.
see the different things here, as you can see here, down here to Ogun State. This is the word, this is the type, this is the date stamp, this is the state is located, this is the name of the hospital, this is the local government is located, this is the code, this is the global ID, you have given it an ID, it is located in this category, it is alternate to this, and this is the field. We are going to add another attribute data, which I'm going to talk to you about. Now, you can delete anyone you want to delete here, or you can leave it. But for now, let's click on this to edit it. Now, this is the name. Now, what type of layer is it? Look here, let me zoom a bit before we talk about the layer. Now, if you look here, there are different ways we can make the layer be. You see here? Now, let's start with making the layer, type of layer. I'm going to make this layer by default. Is there? No problem. The another way I can make this layer is by making it by a cluster. Look at what will happen.
Yeah.
When it is, yeah, look at what happened. When it is cluster, it means the more I zoom, the more it brings up. Now, what it means is that this is about 154 hospitals within this cluster. If I zoom close, it
Okay.
brings it more. So what am I mean? I prefer using a cluster method when I am plotting a map like this, because if it is by default, this is going to look wrong. See, if you change it here and put it by default, this is going to look patched and clustered. It doesn't make sense. So I'll put it on cluster where it goes. So here I have 3 hospitals. If I zoom close, the hospital will expand and come normal. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
this is heat map. Like I said, you will know where the hospital is well clustered by using the heat map method. So you see now that if you want to tell somebody that the hospital in Ogun State is more clustered around this place, the person will see using this heat map. Now, this is a chloroplate map, which what we are going to talk about. Now, if you
This,
remember,
sir,
okay,
it
what is
shows
it?
The heat map, the type of layer.
The heat map shows you where the map is heat. Heat map. What do I mean by heat map? Let me go back
So
to
that means
ArcGIS. In Ogun State, this is the most
mm,
clustered place where you have the hospital. Heat map,
okay.
heat. The map is heating where it is higher, where there is higher
Okay.
concentration. Yeah, don't
Okay.
worry, we are going to talk about density. I think we talk about it a bit, but we're going to talk about density. Somebody asked you, where in Ogun State do you have more hospital? With this map, I can tell the person the more hospital we have in Ogun State is located in
Mm,
around here, before here,
okay.
before here, and before here. There are hospitals in different places, but the heat map where it is happening more or where they have higher concentration of hospital is within this
Local
region.
government is
Yeah.
uh,
Now, that's heat map. Choropleth map, as you know, is when you categorize those map into a different health center. Now, in our case, if you go to the attribute information, you see that there is a category of the hospital somewhere here, if I am not mistaken. This is a category of the hospital. We have primary hospital, military hospital, maternity hospital. So you can make a choropleth map of it. So once you select a choropleth map, choropleth settings will come in. What will you do with the choropleth setting? What do you want to put it? Say you want to make it in category. Now that is going to change to category and then make them based on the category using different labels. Now, how do you want it to be? You want the color, what color you want to put, you put the color, and then once you are done with that, how do you want the chloroplast made? Distance, depending on what you want to do, what shape do you want to use for it? You can also select the color, you change the color to another thing. So this, as you are doing that, that is going to be changing and show you based on the color and the category which you put it up. So this is equidistance, that is equal distance, which is the chloropleth mode. This is the quantity, this is manual. If you click on manual, you should be able to make those changes as it is. Now that this is for category, chloropleth map. Now this is for categorize. If you want to make a category, putting them in different category, as you can see now, see what happened. You see the colors have changed. Now, this is the categorized settings, as you can see. What field you are we interested in? Let's still use the same category we talk about. Then you will see that it is going to group it into different category. Where you have military hospital, you know any hospital that is yellow belongs to a particular pattern. So what is the color that you want to use? You can also select the color platelet that you want to use. Then what is the category? This is the category. Do you want to make it alphabetical order based for you? Whatever you want here, interactive also based for you. Now I am going to return back again to talk about the proportion circle, which you go make it now. You see now that it have created a circle around them. So in that proportion circle, you can also make your own. Which circle do you want to put it up? If there is a way you categorize that the primary hospital should be a bigger circle and smaller circle, is also left for you. By the time you select that, you see the proportion circle. Depending on those categories, like I said, you can see the size of the circle not being the same. But where I am interested in is I want to make it a cluster map. And I've done it like a cluster map. And that gives me the location map here. Now, what is the difference? As it is here, if you return back to where we are viewing it, if I refresh this, this thing is not going to be affected. There's no change. But once I return here and say save, and that run like this, as you can see, I say saved. It's still saving and it has been saved. Map has been saved. If I return back like this, even if wherever if I send you this link, you can see it has changed. So that's why we call it dynamic map. It is changing. It is as you are making it, it is interactive. So load on display is on. If you turn it off, data is browsable. If you turn it off, the data will not be. If I save this now and return back to this same place and then refresh this, you will see that the data part that he says, you see now Ogun State is here, but Ogun State Hospital is no more here. That means you cannot download this data. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because if I don't want anybody to download this data, like you now, I can share you this link, but the map will be there, but you won't download it. Now, show this layer in the caption. If I turn it off, you see and save the same thing. If we return back to where we view our data, you won't be able to see this in caption, meaning that the particular data we are talking about is gone. So for this, I can turn it on and decide to leave browse data off. But remember, if you have a question, you read about this and know what it's trying to tell you about. Now, this is cluster setting. You can change the radius of the cluster. What do I mean by changing the radius of the cluster? If I increase it, the cluster will be big. I don't want it. I want to leave it like that. Now, cluster, this is the way you can change that is overriding cluster. In the shape, this is the shape it is. It is in brown. And we can change it to this color and it change to that color, to green color, it change to green color, to red color, whatever color you want to change it. So for me,
Hello, sir.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sorry, please. Where do you pick the change of color from? Like, if I want
once
to change the color.
yeah once you select cluster as a type, there are other
Mm-hmm.
settings that comes under it. The first settings we
Okay.
treated is cluster setting, which I've closed. Now I am in
Mm-hmm.
shape property. The first place I
Okay.
am is in color.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
yeah, so I am done with color. I want to leave it in red. Then another thing
Okay.
I'm going to look at again is shape icon, which is here. Now this is circle and it turned to circle. This is
Okay.
drop and it turn to drop, and this is ball
Um,
and it turn to ball. You can see the shape
oh,
now. So once you zoom close to where the hospital is, let me zoom to where the hospital are many, you will definitely see that the shape we have here has been changed to a ball. Look here. This is what it means. If I make it by default, it stays like this. If I make it by circle, it stays like this. If I make it by pop, it comes like this. I make it by ball, it comes like this. But now, I want to define my own hospital. I will click on define icon and I will go down a bit. Now here you can see accommodation, administrative, but I'm going to hospital here, which I'm going down here to H, and I didn't see the hospital, but look at health here. I want it to be like this.
okay.
I can make
Yeah.
it like this. I can make it like this. I can make it like this. I can make it like this. Now, let me tell you something. Assuming you want to create a hospital for primary health, that is dentistry hospital. You want to go to hospital for autopsy, a hospital for a gynecology hospital, so and rest of them. So there are different hospitals you can put. You can bring them as a different layer, a layer of this hospital, and able to put this icon differently. But for now, let's be talking about hospital. If it is a bank, I can put it like this. If it is a government, a law firm, I can use it like this. If it is anything you want, you come here and search. If it is a transportation, is a park, I can use this as a park. If it is a filling station, I can use this as a filling station. But for now, let us, if it's a church, I will use this as a, if it's a mosque, you can see it here. If it is a Buddha, whatever it is, I will put it here. But for now, we are still assuming it is hospital. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you can also define your own symbol. You can import emoji you have. You can also use a
Uh,
URL for image. Assuming I want to use my picture on it, I can upload my picture and use the picture
uh,
here as an icon. Is that okay?
yes, sir.
Then in terms of opacity, icon opacity is how it's going to be. If I take it like this, it's off. If I take it like this, it's
Please.
on, depending on the way
Oh,
I want it to show. Then in terms of weight, which is stroke, if you see here, if I put it up, so let's leave it by default, that is the outline. In terms of stroke, if I turn it off, that means this out shade will go. The weight, if I increase the weight, it comes on. So for here, I want to leave it like this. Now, the next thing is advanced tools. The advanced tools is just simple, where you put up where you want to zoom to, from zoom from, what is the label key. Now, this is the label key. If you click on the label key, it brings the name here. What comes here by default is the name. Now, look here. If you want a place name, the name of the property used is num. It comes here by automatic. Or mix a strings. Example, name in place. Now, what do I mean? Here, look at this. Let me use this as example. If I copy this and I say here and I paste this, and then remember we have a place we call category, if I'm not mistaken. So if you make up this, it means that when you are interacting with this, it's going to be name in place. It means you are going to make it with a static content, name in category.
Okay.
So that means you are defining another
Okay.
property to put all together. So I'm going to clear it to leave it by default for now, which will help me provide me with the name I want here. So if it is like I say, name in place, and you say category. Now, if you save this category, so it means that it's going to show you the name in category. So you put it up there so that when the name, if there is a name in category, so if anybody now zoom, work on it and click on it, so the label is going to be the name in the category. So you can make that statically like that, but have to correspond with what is in the attribute table. But for now, let's leave it by default. Now let's go to the interactive part of it. The interactive part of it is saying pop-up shape. What it means is that if you want it to pop up shape, when you click on it, the name is going to come up. But when you click on this, the large is going to come up. When you click on it, the name comes by the left. Now, let us leave it by pop-up and let's save. Now, when we save it, we return back to where we have here and we refresh this. Let me show you different example of what I mean. When you click up this, it pop up like this. Now, when you go to pop up large here and save it, as you see, we are saving. And once that is saved, if I go down here, refresh this and say pop up large and click on this, do you see what happened?
Yes.
It's
It brought
bigger.
the category.
Yeah, then pop up by the side. I like using pop up by the side depending on what I am doing. But then let us see the changes. I will refresh again and then I will be able to have this. It is by here. Now, if I have the attribute of this information, all of them is going to show by the size. That is one I am going to use, but I will explain to you what I mean by the size, where it shows you the local government and rest of them. We are going there a bit. We're almost there. Now, this is content style. If I say content style, if I say show it by table, what is content style? What will be by the size of the pop-up? Let's save this. I first and foremost selected table, and I'm going here, and I'm going to say refresh here, as you see here. So if I refresh the same
That is
thing, okay,
where we going to refresh. Okay,
just like
this circle.
refreshing. Yeah, so
Okay.
you see what I have here. Currently I have the name, the ID, every information about this hospital has been added for me. Any hospital I click automatically brings me the information by the left hand side, and I can interact with the other hospital. You see here, return back, expand. Once I click on the hospital, the information about the hospital comes up. This is why it is called dynamic map. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me go back again to the location. I'm going to leave it like this. Now look at what we mean by GeoRSS title and image. If I save this and then I return back to the same place and I refresh this and I click on the map, it shows me like this. Now let's go back there again. I open up this and I say GeoRSS with a link and I save it, and then I return back there and I refresh it, and once I refresh, I think it's still coming. Now if I click on the map, then that's going to show me like this. So these are different ways you can put it up, but for now we can decide to put it by the table. If you put plus the imagery, it means that any imagery as related to it will appear. I'm going to that. That's why I told you there is a map, a location we are going to face. while we are going to work on it. What I mean is that you can build a map that will automatically pop up the hospital picture for you. Is that okay?
Okay. Just like Google Earth.
Yes, you click on the picture and that's going to come out. We are going there. So this is pop-up content here. Now, for the sake of the pop-up content, I am going to click on this to save this for now. And I'm going to click here to show you what I mean. Here, I have a URL for image. This is the URL for image, and this is how you can represent image here. Now in here, if you look here, you see that I have description in a curly bracket, which means here is description in that curly bracket, which is exactly what we have here. But I want to add imagery to it. I can make this kind of copy, and I say copy, and I come here, as you see, and I say here that I want to put imagery. So it means if I want it to have an imagery, I'm going to have an imagery present here in the this thing for each of them. So in that way, I can make this by typing imagery here. So it means that any column that have imagery and I save it and refresh this, if I click on it, it will automatically bring in the imagery here. I am going to explain that. You will see what I'm saying. Now, in the labeling part, while we are going, you tell how it's going to label. If you say always, all the hospital is going to have the name here, which I don't like it because it will make it overlap and look very, very bad. I don't want it. I will always put it in never. If you make it hidden, then it become hidden. What do you mean by hidden? If you move here, it comes up. If you make it never, I prefer never. You see the way it is? It's not showing. But when it is hidden, as I'm zooming on it, it comes on it. This is what I mean by save. I'll click here, I'll return here, and I'll refresh. Now, what it means is that as it is now, if I hover my mouse over it here, it brings in here, hover. If I click on it, it comes up. So ideally, it's supposed to be, which one is selected? Hidden. So if you see here, you see the way it pop up, moving your cursor over it, you see it here, coming up the way. So I want it to be never. Labeling direction, you define how the labeling direction is, left, right, top, or bottom. That's for you. The labeling clickable. If you turn it on, that means make the label clickable. So if you save this, as you move your distance to it, then it can be edited. So I want to turn it off for now. Now you can also say open in a link. You define the link near the window, parent window, iframe window, assuming you have information about this hospital more. Once you click on it, you can read more about it. You can add Wikipedia page on it. You can add a website to it. Once you click on it, this will allow you to see more things
Hello.
on it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So this is interactive, that is may allow interactive. If for the polygon or line act will be underlay. So when it is interactive, if you turn it on or off, so let's clear the interactive part. Now this is remote data. If you have a data you want to add, you can remotely add the data. Now, if you, what format will it be? You tell us the format the data will be. So you can add a remote data to it to support the dynamic map. You can zoom, what license, how do you want the data to be? If you have a remote data, for example, I can request that it should be checking the database in 5 minutes, 1 minute, or that is 5 minutes, 1 hour, or daily. So this is left for you. I'm going to teach you about the remote data. Now, this is the version. Now, what does it mean by version? By this time, 903, we added a data that looks like this. By this 906, we did something like this. By the 9, that will interact with the time on your computer. And that's by 10, 910, we made this kind of we made this kind of changes so you can see the size of change. You can revert to, let me say you made a mistake and you don't know how to change it. You can come to the version and return back to the original version you had then. Now this is advanced. You can delete, you can clone. Assuming you want to replicate this map somewhere else, you clone it. You can download the data. Now, so for now, this is the kind of English we are speaking on this particular one right now. Now, we have created a dynamic map of the hospital that when I click on it and I go over to it, that will open, and I hover over it again, that will change. You can see it here. Then if I move it a bit, you will able to see, oh, this is this hospital here. Now, that's the same thing from anybody from this end. When the person refresh it and the person click on this, the person will be able to see the name of the hospital and rest of information. Now, we don't need this information. I don't need it, right?
Yes, sir.
Then this is, you don't also need this information here if you don't want. What do we need to do? We return back to where we have this data here. Where do we have the data? Edit Ogun Hospital here. Sorry, please. Click on where we have this data here. Click on this attribute information here. And then in here, this is the hospital alphabet. We might not need, with this the feed. Now go down here, you see that these things we don't, that some of them we don't need. We don't need a global ID. I can delete this column. Are you sure I want to delete? Yes, that is deleted. Now remember that every here in attribute table, this is arranged in this pattern. Now I want to add another attribute that I'm going to
Okay.
name as image.
Okay.
I'm adding a column that I name as image, and I'm going to click OK. And that is going to create a new column for me, which I am going to name as image. Now, if
I
you,
have some questions. So when you are done, I have some questions.
yeah, you can ask now if it is, or whichever one that is comfortable for you, let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
What I want to ask is
Okay.
this site adding in,
The what?
like you're adding a new column
Yes.
now. Example, if I want to add maybe distance, like distance from the hospital to the road to the main road. Like,
To the,
can I query on this web GIS, the web map?
yeah.
Can I query like, okay, like is there a way I can get the distance that okay, this is how far how near the hospital is to the main road in case there is any urgency stuff so they
Okay.
can locate it. Mhm.
All right. For here, for this particular platform now, when I will teach you, when I'll be teaching Mapbox, we'll work on that. But for this one, what you can do
Map
is to,
what?
yeah, we'll write, be writing
Like,
code. We'll be writing code to define
code.
Mapbox.
Okay, so it's the
Yeah.
code that okay.
Yeah, so we'll be writing code. Even when we'll be using Google Earth Engine, we are going to be writing code. And that's why we are teaching, talking about Python and different other
Okay.
programming language. Yeah. So,
So,
but for now, what I want to tell
I,
you is this. If you want to have such kind of thing in mind, there is something
yes,
you are
sir.
going to do. What you can do is that you can work on that thing before now. And it is part of the data you are going to download to upload here. Do you get?
Like it will be in the attribute table already.
Yes, it will be something you have done pre-done here because this will not give you the ability to do that.
Well, sorry, sir, but you said we are going to download it from HDX.
Yeah, that's where we download. Okay, the road.
The health center itself,
Yeah,
like the
that's where we
table,
downloaded it from.
it
Yeah, that's what.
depends on the one done, by HDX.
Yeah,
So
but
now
yeah, it's true. Let me clear you on that. What happened is, I take it to ArcGIS, right?
to convert,
Yes, not only convert. I can do analysis there and still upload it here. I can do a buffer and upload that layer here now.
okay,
Yes, all
there is
those.
this project I want to work on, like for my final year project. So something like this. So, but I don't know. maybe it is possible or not, but what you are doing now, I think it is possible.
Yeah, it is
So,
possible. It is possible. Like, the world is run by code. So we can, don't worry. We are just talking about this thing because, like, as you know, we jump our Python
uh,
class. Yeah, it
introduction,
is.
like I just
Yeah, we jump back. We are doing this thing for a particular reason, which you know. So, yeah,
yes.
so let's keep running fast a bit. But you can do
All
that
right.
because I can query it. Now, we are going to that part. I will answer your question by one way now, but let me answer it a bit. Now,
Yeah.
we can run analysis on ArcGIS and bring it here, and it become part of the
Okay.
layer. Anybody can
All
query
right.
and interpret. But for the meantime,
Okay.
we are going to be using the tools here. I'm going to
Mm,
activate it, which is what I'm using now. Measure distance. If I want to know the distance between this point to the main road here, I can click on it, and I should be able to see the distance is there.
uh,
Yeah, you can do the same thing here.
okay.
You can view it on your phone. You can see the distance. As I'm dragging it, it is measuring the distance. If I click here, and you can see that
Mm,
it is 1.3 kilometers to the main road.
mm.
Did you get that? And
I
from there,
get it.
from this hospital to this hospital, it is 3.6 kilometer. You can see, I can measure
Okay.
such thing. But it is not giving you the real like measurement. If you want to, okay, what if you change your mind that I want to know the distance from here to here? You need to do it by clicking on it. But you can see what I'm doing. As
I
anywhere I
get.
click, that gives you the distance.
I get
Now,
it.
that's when you use the miss. If you use in kilometer, it's going to show you. If you change it to miles, it will change to miles. And if you change it to nm, it's going to be. But for now, let us leave. And you can also measure area. By the time you close up here, you draw and close up in a point, it automatically form the area you are measuring. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're
Thank you,
going
sir.
to we're going to activate that. And not only that, you see this data, once I finish now, like once I am done with you now, I am going to send you the link to this data. And I will ask you with your phone, click on the location because I'm going to
Mm,
activate all of them. And it will take you directly accessing the GPS on your phone to bring you the location right on this map. You can check where is the closest hospital. You can go to look
mm,
at it. Yeah,
mm.
that works that way. Yeah, so let's proceed a bit. Let
All
me
right, sir.
close up this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this, we have done that. The next thing we could do again here is that I want to go to a bit setting. And the setting I'm going to do is what I'm doing now is a general setting. Sorry, I jumped something. While we are here, I talk about the table and I've added Ogun State here. In the attribute
Mm.
table of health facility, I added a layer I mentioned as image. Yes. Now I am going
Obviously.
to go here and look for that layer, and you see the layer here. Is that okay?
Mm. Yes,
Now
sir.
in this pattern, what we are going to do is that we are going to go to the general setting. I am going to go to the internet and type my name. I don't want to use anybody's picture because they used to say, what they call it? They used to call it copyright, right?
Mhm, yes, sir.
So I will use my own picture. Which of the picture am I going to use here? No, this is my picture on Twitter. So let me use my picture I like. This is on Facebook. A link I can copy. This is on state of the map. I'm looking for a pic. This is on hot HDX Twitter. I think I will use. Let me use the one that is on the website. All right. So now I'm going to right click on my picture and I will say copy link address of this picture. I will return back here and I'm going to paste the link to that picture here. Why am I pasting the link to that picture? I want to assume that that is the picture of the hospital. Is that okay? So, and I'm going to
Yeah.
save it. Now, this is the link to this is the link to the picture, as you can see. So I want to assume, let me test the link to be sure. I want to assume that that is the picture to the hospital. It is taking me to a bigger place. That's not what I need. Let me go here and see, open in another folder, open in a new tab. Okay, let me copy this. And I will return back here and paste the picture. No? Matters arising. So this is the image and it is now edited. Double click on it and that's have been added. So if you look here, the hospital here is added in military something. That is the category. The
I'm
name of the
paramilitary.
the name of the hospital is 3 TTS Medical Center. You remember it, and I'm going to save it. Now, when this is being saved, I'm going to general setting. Now, okay, let me close attribute table first before going to the general setting. Now, this is where whatever you do here happen to the entire map. Whatever we did there happened to a single layer. Do you get the difference?
Okay, sir.
Whatever we do here happened to the entire map. Now, look here. If I check on the shape, if I change the color, the entire map will be changed. If I leave it that way, this is the color background. As you can see, this is what it's changing to.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so the color changed that pattern. If I leave it on this, it changed to sky blue. Now, in the icon shape, the way the ball, if I define it, and if I go down to the place we do before, and then I go to hospital, as you can see, I click on this, that's changed to hospital. Now, opacity, weights. Now, default setting, this is the zoom. If I turn on this and I click on turn, key label, I want to label it by name, short key, rest of them. Now, if I save this, it is going to activate a kind of animation that will be moving over a period of time. So I'm going to show you that is zoom, zoom level, animated transmission. When it is zooming, it is going to come here, but I don't want to turn it on until I show you what I'm saying. This is the interactive. When you click on it, what will happen? This is for the general map. This is conditional rules. If you want to add rules to the style, customize background. If you have a display background you want it to add, assuming I want the background to have my name, then I'm going to make that to have a background name. Now this is limit. What I mean by limit is that if I don't want you to zoom this map beyond here, for example, you see this place, I don't want to zoom it over beyond here. The map should not go beyond here. Now let me click on it and say limit boundary, and I say use current boundary. You see this coordinate that have been updated, and if I save it, now no matter what person do, any viewer, if I refresh this, no matter what you
Okay,
do
then.
because you're the viewer, it cannot go beyond there. Now, let me give you example. Once you get here, it stop. Do you see? But you
Now,
drag it like this. As I drag it down, it will bounce back. I am dragging it down to this place now. Leave it, it will bounce back because I am the owner. I say don't zoom beyond here. So no matter what you do, you cannot zoom beyond this place. That is the difference. So, but in that case, I don't need it. Anybody is interactive map, I'm going to empty it. And when I empty it and save it, so anybody can go to America and I right click, I see I can go to America, I can zoom out to America, stop anywhere, and it is still there. So all you need is refresh, it will come back. Is that okay on that?
yes, sir.
Now the next thing I want to show you is slideshow. If I turn on the slideshow on here and it is on and I want it in a seconds, like let's put it in 2 seconds, what is the transmission part? If I turn it on, that is animated transmission, auto start at load, I turn it off. Once it load and I save it, it means that once the auto start is on, it means that if I refresh this, now look at what will be happening. In another 2 seconds, it will change. Another 2 seconds, it goes again. another 2 seconds, it goes. It is actually transmitting in different parts. The difference is that the animation we did is interacting with Ogun State. So if not, every map here is actually moving from one point. Look at what I'm saying. I'm not touching it. It's the one working on its own. So it will be transmitting on its own. Now, the reason why you are not seeing it is because it is transmitting to different points, but on its own, it is interacting with each of them and sliding. So with this, it will be doing
Okay.
dynamically on its own without me touching it. But now, I don't like it because you make the person who is working on it uncomfortable. So the best thing you
Yes.
can do, you can make it in 1 second and say let it be transmitting. And what happens when you turn the auto start off? If I refresh, the person who is viewing this map have the right to play it or not to play. See, it's not working until the person go in here to say it to start playing. You play it and it will start playing. And when you want to stop it, you stop or you pause it or you go to the next one. It will keep on interacting with all of them. So that is for this. I don't need transmission because I don't need animation because I am not slideshow because I'm not using it for slideshow, except I want to do presentation before I turn it on. Now, this is advanced setting like we say. You can download and share panel, you can clone, you can clear that and rest of them. Now, before we go to the other part, let me go to the aspect of display where we have here close, 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 and then close, and then close, and then let me go to interactive option and turn on this. Here we have label are clickable, label direction, display on label, templates. Here you define, you see I have name and imagery. So now if I say here and I say image, now remember what I told you here. Here, this is the template on how it's going to come up. So if I say this and then, now look here, there is something we call here name. What does it mean? It means that because I click on name, if I click on this, I should be able to see the name of the hospital. You see? Now, if there is a table name description, it will show me the description of the hospital. Table, attribute table. Now, I'm going to save this here. And we are going to look for the data. This is search by location. So if you type a location of Ogun State and then click on search, it's
Mhm.
going to bring Ogun State for you here. If you click on it, it is a dynamic map. It is interacting with both the data you have and the database. So it's bringing Ogun State here for you. If you, I'm going to put up, activate these settings here, where you can search for in between the map. To search in between the map, you have this layer here. Remember, we turn off the layer of, remember we turn off the layer of this, the next other layer, which we had then when we uploaded it. When we go here, you remember that we say don't show up the data where we have here, we have health center here. While we are turning it off, we say don't make it browsable. If you turn it on here now, it become browsable here. So it means that if I click on this here, all the list of the hospital will appear, and you can see the three test hospital which we use here. Now I'm going to zoom to it, and I think this is the three test hospital. Now, if you click here, you will see my picture here. Do you see what happened? So if you click on it, it can open this for you. If this is the hospital, you should be able to see the hospital coming like this. Now, let's go back to the layer again. And I go down here. Remember there's a place I changed the table, which is where we are going to have, where we have interactive option. I've added the image. Now, what if I say bring it by default and save? I think this is the 3C hospital, no? 3C hospital here. And then when I click on it like this, what happens? Let's go here and then go refresh this and go to the data layer here and then open up this layer and look for the 3C hospital here. I will zoom to the layer and this is the hospital. Now, when I click on it, what happened? It only shows this table as my name. I'm return back to here again and then go to here and change this thing to table, and I will save it. And when I change to table and save it, I will return back here and refresh the same hospital again. And I think this is still it. Now it comes like this. I'll go
The
back there
table.
again and then go to table plus the image, and I will save it, and I will return back here, and I'm going to click on okay, within refresh, and then I'm going to click on the 3C hospital here, and then this is where it is. We return back the same place again and say default. Let's put it in table. So what I'm trying to say is, in this particular template, if I copy the link where I have this imagery here, you can see this imagery here. Copy the format, and I will return back here, and I will say here, and then I'm going to bring this URL which I copied before, and I'm going to say here and paste the imagery link I copied here inside it, and I'm going to save it. Then when it is saved, and I will return back here and I will refresh it, and then I'll click on 3C hospital. I supposed to change the pattern it is showing, the interactive parts. I'm not getting it right. I'm trying to show it in such a way that if you click on this, it ought, this thing is supposed not to come like this. Yeah, it's supposed to like draw my picture here. I don't get what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. Yeah, so it ought to
Yes,
have
sir.
bring my picture here instead of, because it is showing me what is in that attribute table, which is not what I want. Okay, hold on a bit. Let me find where it is coming from. Interactive name. This is imagery here. Format. Go here. Click on this. Return back to the layer. Hold on a minute. I think. I think. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So you see now that if this is the hospital, it automatically brings in here the image you added to it on that source layer.
Okay, how do you do it?
Yeah, I let this happen by using this description here and copying the link of that.
Image.
Yes. So I was able to put it here. So once you click on it, it's going to pop up the display with
But
the
you
image.
put the link to that time. It
Yes,
was not
assuming
doing.
that you have the picture to the hospitals, each of the hospitals, you get.
Yes.
Now you
Mm-hmm.
can upload it either in Wikicommons or any platform you can collect the link, just like the way I browse the link and copy it.
Mm-hmm.
Then with
Mm-hmm.
this, I can put up the content. So if anybody click on it, the person can see the hospital.
Okay, sir.
You get what I'm saying? Now another perfect example, while I remove this, another perfect example is assuming that the hospital have a link to the imagery. Assuming that the hospital have a link to their website, you can do the same thing by linking the website to it. And once that
Okay, like
happens,
column. One column will be for website.
yeah, for websites. So
Okay.
which you are going to do on the layer body, like the part of the layer here, you go here and make sure that the hospital you have that in the interactive option, that it have that hospital ID. So you come here, look at this template. If you want to put a website, it comes in this format. A link to the test. You use this format. So with
Okay.
that, you will be able to get it done. So as you see here, each of these, as I put it up here, then it means that if I put up image and I just need to put the link, if I put up the link the way it is, and then I will save it. If it is a hospital, I ought to have the hospital having the link of the imagery embedded on it. So anybody who click on it will be able to see it like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it was in that pattern. Now where you have imagery here, you can call the image to that link and you save it. So when that is saved and it's still saving, and when you refresh it, it will give you the picture to that hospital. You see here, it's only showing the link.
Join the link.
Yeah, so it's only showing the link. If you make it in table and save it in table, so when you click on it, so this here, if it is a hospital, it means that you can add dedicate a particular column to the link of the hospital or the picture. So anybody who click on it, it comes like this. And you see, click on the image, the person can click like this. And like we said, we will set how it's going to be. Like I said that once you click on it, open in the next page. The
So,
person can
well,
click on it and it goes to the next page. That is a
okay.
display. Yeah, so the link, open the link in, look at what I mean. New window, iframe, click on iframe here and save it. Let me show you the different thing. Then when I close this and refresh it again, look at what I mean by iframe. Now, when I click on this, it's you see now, when I click on the picture now, what happened? It goes to the next link. Now, this is being controlled by what is happening here. Here, open the link in new window, iframe, parental window. If it is parent window, that is parent window, I will save it. Now, I will click on this. I will return back to the same thing. I will refresh. Let me hope it has finished. It has been saved. Now if I click on this and I click on the picture, this opens like this. So this control how the picture shows. So if they have a website, you put it up here, it open. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so on this note, the last thing I need to show, we have stayed on top of the hour, but the last thing I want to show you before we go is that as you see it here, the next thing I want to show is the base map. In the base map, you have this here. You are the owner, you are the creator. These are different base map you can use. If I want to put it on the satellite imagery, I can do something like this. If I select this and I will save it. So if anybody open it by default, what I mean by default is that if I share this link with you, when you open the map, it will load the default imagery I use, not the one you use. So if this has been saved, then if I open it up and refresh as a viewer, then that is going to reflect the imagery I use. So that's exactly how it happened. You can see the satellite imagery. But the person who is viewing it have the right to change the imagery. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I want to change it, I can click here and it return to imagery. But once I refresh it, it will change to that imagery. So on default, I like using hill shade because it shows me both that and the contour. So because of that, I am going to use open topo here or cyclo because I like it showing me the contour. So by somebody who zoom close can say, oh, this is the elevation of that particular place. So because of that, I'm going to use this particular base map. Okay, so that's network by the way. So the next thing I'm going to show again is the aspect of the display here. So let's talk about the display a bit. So this is the hill shade. Now you can see the building footprint on it, as you can see. So as you are interacting with it, you should have the hospital with the building footprint close to it. And if anybody move close to it, it comes. So, but this is going to take much time because you are now interacting with a bigger database. I don't know you
Okay,
get what
so
I'm trying to say. Yeah. Because as it is
yes,
now, if I save it, it is loading the road network and it is also loading the building footprint.
it's
So
different.
yeah, with that, it means that the data is going to be interacting with is going to be heavy. So if I
Yeah.
refresh now, you will see the contour as elevation, that is elevation as a base map. So that's going to take time, as you can see, because I am now working with SRTM, which is Space Shuttle Radar Topographic Mission. That's where we get some of the map up here. So because of that, that's going to take time to load. You can see here, it's looking better. I
Okay.
see the contour, and I zoom more
Con-
close. You see the contour comes here.
Wow.
Yeah, so the heat shade is still
But
loading.
contour, you cannot change the contour interval, like it's just there.
No, you cannot
You
change
can't change
because yeah, because it's a base map. It's a base, yeah,
okay.
it's a base map, so that's not
Just
going to
give
change.
something like there.
Yeah.
Mm.
So once you click on the hospital, you have the information about it by the left hand side. Like I said, we can remove all this if we don't like. We removed one, we can add more. And remember, the same way we do join and relate, we can also do join and relate. Is that okay? So on this note, let us save the last thing. Let us work on the last thing. Now on the last thing here is the interactive, that is the display. The user interface is what we are going to set now. If I want,
Mhm.
look at this is the user interface, not my own user. Display zoom control, always. This is the zoom control. If I turn it never, the zoom control is going to go. I am setting for the user, not me. I am the owner. Somebody using it. If I turn it on, that is going to be here. The user can zoom and see. Now here it says display search control. This is a search control that is searching on the database, not here. Assuming you want to look for a coordinate of here, you can type it here and that is going to take you here. You are not interacting with the data. Display full screen, this is this one. If I turn it off, it will take it off. If I turn it on, it is there. Display embodied control, which is here. So if I turn it off, it will go. If I turn it on, it will return back. So with this, display caption. Now another thing I want to display is display location control. I want it on. Why? Because I want anybody who is working with this map should be able to get his location. Now, once you click on this, it will take you to your location. Now, display measurement tools.
I don't get it, sir.
Huh?
I don't get it, sir. Sorry.
I am trying to make the location control. Never, it will go. On, it will not go. Never, it will go. Hidden, it will be wrapped here. So if I am, when I'm done now, I'm going to send you this link to WhatsApp. When I send it to you, and you click on that link, after it open on your browser, click on the location. It is going to assess your location where you are looking. Let
Okay.
me say you are looking for hospital. You are somewhere, you don't know hospital, but you have this link. You click on it, it is going to take you. If this is your location here is going to take you here. You can say, oh, there's a hospital here, there's another hospital here, and you can pick up these tools and measure. If you are standing here and you say, what is the distance from here to this hospital?
Mm, yes.
This is about 1.4. That's very, very long. Let's look for another hospital. You can see from your location to here. What is the location? You are able to click on this and say what is the location from here you are standing to here, and you say, oh, this is about 1.4. Oh, so it's almost the same distance from here to here. Okay, let's go to this. That's what I'm saying. So if I turn it off, look at it here. If I say display look, if I say never, the user will not be able to see it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to make it hidden so that it will have editor. I don't need to have an editor. What is the star stamp? If somebody want to bookmark it, I don't need it. Nobody need that thing. What is that? What about uh, measurement tools? I need it hidden. What about display caption tools? Which is if I put never, you can see the display caption tools there. This which is
Okay.
showing you about the map. This web map
Oh,
is created by the, see what I was writing there. So you can make
Okay.
your own bigger. And then you can see user, Kingsley Kachuku, no license, all these things I put here. If I don't want this to be seen, I can also make it, which is display map caption, I make it hidden and it will run inside. Then map control and rest of them. So this is the user interface. Here, do you want to display more? If you turn it up, this is going to come here to ask the user, do you want to display more? Auto scrolling, display the mini map. If you turn it on, a mini map is going to come here. Here. You see, this is where you are. As I'm zooming out, the mini map will be zooming out at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So if you need the mini map, so I think we have done that. We have done pretty much of this. So another thing is, if you want the scale to display, if you turn it on, the scale is going to be here. Do you want to display the control on load? Which control? If you load it caption, it is good. By loading it comes view, zoom, and then do you want to display the pop-up footer? If you turn it on, it is going to bring the pop-up by the footer. Or do you want to display the caption? This is what is done. So once you are done like this, you are going to save it. Now when you save it, if I give you this link here, this is the coordinate. So if I remove this here, enter and press enter, that's going to do this map like this. You can see I can interact with it like this. So for the sake of this, I am going to return back here, go to display, settings here, and I'm going to say customize boundary, customize overlay, then in aspect of boundary, if I say set this boundary. So if I click apply, so once somebody load in here, which I'm going to load, I'm going to refresh, and you see, sorry, this is coming with the zoom level. So click on enter, and that's going to put it like this for us. So this is exactly what we do. Do you have any question?
No, no, sir.
All right. So if you don't have any question, that's great. You can try that. I've shown you how you have the how I downloaded the data, and if you need any information anytime, you kindly reach me up on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be stopping here for now, and you have a great